and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm Britton Hess, your host, and I'm here to give you my 3 favorite Underdog fantasy pick'em plays of the day. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code you can use promo code SGPN, but it helps me out more if you use promo code DAILYDOG, DAILYDOG, on UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. That's promo code DAILYDOG on UnderdogFantasy.com. So let's get right into the show. Let's start out by looking at what we did on Friday. After a very solid first week, we ended up going 3-2 for a plus 3 unit profit on the show plays last week. There was also a bonus play if you're following on shorts that was 12-1 on YouTube. So if you follow YouTube Shorts, follow Twitter, you'll see some bonus plays as well. So on the show, we went 3-2, but we did lose on Friday. It was a little bit contentious. The first play that hit, was easy on our slip, was Logan Webb under 6.5 hits allowed against the Rangers. That number was way too high, especially when Seager was injured. I don't think Underdog adjusted in time because I compared the numbers to sportsbooks, and sportsbooks had definitely juiced that to the under. Logan Webb left the game with 5 hits allowed. That was kind of a no-sweater, so I was happy that one came home, especially when we got all that value. The second one we pushed was Justin Steele, higher than 5 hits allowed against the Reds. You know, it's a lefty-righty kind of thing where the Reds are not necessarily great in that, but they have been really good against Justin Steele in the past. He pushed, but I think we were lucky to get a push. He didn't allow a hit till 2 outs in the 4th inning. So in his first 11 outs, he allowed 0 hits, but in his last 10, he allowed 5. So we got fairly lucky to push there, but maybe we were also a little unlucky that he didn't just let one ball through the outfield or through the infield earlier in that game. The last one that did not hit was Zach Neto higher than half a total base against the Astros and Framber Valdez. Framber Valdez is making me a believer again because he went 9 innings, only allowing 4 hits in that game. His best performance of the year. There was a couple other plays I was thinking about in that game if you were listening to the show, and those were not even close. That would have been Framber Valdez higher than 5.5 hits. Luckily, I didn't play it, but that didn't hit. And it would have been Taylor Ward higher than 1.5 total bases. He got a single. That one didn't hit, so it wasn't on the slip. I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, so on the Friday picks, we went 1-1-1. But that's enough about last week. Let's get into Monday, 6/11, or actually 6/10. Sorry, it's already June 10th. So we're going to take Leon Draisaitl to have higher than half a point against the Florida Panthers in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Leon Draisaitl is a point machine. He gets tons of helpers. He scores goals on his own. He's got in the 19 playoff games that the Oilers have played so far this postseason, he's got a point in 16 of them. He's averaging 1.47 points per playoff game. And just total, the Oilers have scored 63 goals in the postseason. Draisaitl has been in on that point in 44% of those 63 goals. I think that Bobrovsky, he's obviously an awesome goalie. I think 32 saves is going to be a lot to expect of him on a game-by-game basis against this Oilers team. I would be very surprised if the Oilers don't get at least 2 goals on the board in Game 2. I mean, Bobrovsky was playing so high. You can't blank this team game after game. I think that was the first or second shutout that the Oilers have faced all postseason. So yeah, I don't think that's repeatable, and I do think that the Oilers will have a little bit more success scoring. If that happens, Leon Draisaitl is very likely to be in on that point, so higher than half a point, and that's a 0.7x multiplier. My second play, I dig deep on these boards on Underdog. Joey Estes, young pitcher for the A's. I'm going to be taking him to have higher than half of a strikeout in the first inning against the Padres. He's a righty, and the Padres have the lowest K rate against righties. So why would I be playing this guy on the lowly A's to get a strikeout in the first inning against the Padres? Well, there's good reason. 7 of the Padres' last 10 games against starting right-handed pitchers, they've gotten struck out at least once in the first inning. Joey Estes has 5 starts on the season. In his last 4, he's had at least 1 strikeout in the first inning. He also played 2 games last year, and he was 1 for 2. So just for his career, he's got at least 1 strikeout in the first inning, 5 of 7 games. And I know the Padres, they don't strike out much. Why would I choose them? I already went over it. They have not been excellent by not getting struck out in the first inning against right-handed pitchers. I mean, honestly, as long as we can avoid a double play in this first inning, I feel really good about this. We don't want a Narvaez single, then a Manny grounded double play. Not Manny, a Fernando Tatis grounded double play. That would really hurt us. But honestly, if we get to Profar, I think we have a great shot at getting this. If we get to Cronenworth, even better shot of getting this. Because these guys swing with reckless abandon, and early in the game, when there's not much on the line, they're going to be going for the fences. They've never seen Joey Estes before, so higher than half of a first inning strikeout. Last play, we're going with Salvador Perez, higher than 1.5 total bases, 1.1x multiplier against the Yankees and Carlos Rodon, the dominant force who owns first 5 innings so far this season. Why would I take this play? Well, Salvador Perez has seen Carlos Rodon quite a few times in his career. He's had 20 at-bats against him. He's gone 9 for 20. And when I first looked at that number, I was like, okay, but I mean, these guys are old players. They've been around for a little bit. What are the chances that, he was really successful early on in Rodon's career and then has done terrible lately? So I went back and checked the box scores. September 2023, Perez was 1 for 1 versus Rodon, and that one was a double. Then you have to go back to 2021, July 2021. His first at-bat against Rodon was a homer. His second at-bat was a single, and then Rodon got pulled. Then we go to May 2021. First at-bat, strikeout. Second at-bat, homer. Third at-bat, ground in a double play. And earlier in May in 2021, first at-bat, single. Second at-bat, single. Third at-bat, single. So his last 4 games against Carlos Rodon, he has gone higher than 1.5 total bases, and those are just his at-bats against Rodon. That's not including against the relief pitchers in those games. So 7 of 9 in his last 9 plate appearances against Carlos Rodon with a double and 2 home runs. I love this play. It's a 1.1x multiplier. I mean, honestly, people might be taking the under on Salvador Perez just because obviously he doesn't look like a guy who's going to hit a lot of doubles as this gets closer. So this multiplier could actually go up later. I'm happy to lock it in right now. But Rodon is, like I said, he's an elite pitcher, but there's certain guys that have a beat on him. Last week we played Carlos Correa against Rodon, and he had a home run in his first at-bat versus him. So there's a good chance that a guy that has seen Rodon over the years, like Salvador Perez, who's also just a professional hitter, a good power hitter, and a good leader for this Royals team, is going to be all over Rodon early and often in this game. And even if he doesn't get the hit off Rodon, Salvador Perez has power that can go yard against anybody. The Yankees obviously are coming off of a pretty emotional series against the Dodgers over this week. They won Sunday Night Baseball, but then they have to get on the road and go play Kansas City. Not sure how up they're going to be. And, maybe Rodon doesn't have his A stuff. And even if he does, like I said, 2021, the Daily Dog Cat wants to get in on the show, but he's got to move. So the 2021 season where Salvi tore up Carlos Rodon, that was when Rodon was an all-star with a 2.37 ERA and finished 5th in the Cy Young voting. So that is the last play there. These 3 plays together yield a very nice 3.69x return. Those plays are Leon Draisaitl, over 0.5 point in Game 2 against the Florida Panthers. Joey Estes to have higher than 0.5 first inning strikeouts against the San Diego Padres. And Salvador Perez to have higher than 1.5 total bases against the Yankees. Those 3 plays yield a 3.69x return on your money. If you put $10, you'll get $36.90 back if this hits. Hopefully we start the week off hot with another win on a Monday. But I appreciate you guys following, subscribing, liking the show, listening on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. We should be available. And if there's a spot that you want to listen to it that it's not available, reach out to me on DMs on Twitter or whatever. Find an email for me. Do whatever you can because I'll put this out anywhere. I appreciate the early support we got on this show. But that is it for now. So let's make some money.